struggle between Jonesboro's mayor and the city council that's been brewing for more than a year has now come to a head.
Tensions exploded during a heated argument in a public meeting, which was captured by the city's cameras. On one side, council members trying to rein in who they say is an out-of-control chief executive. On the other, a mayor accusing her colleagues of racism.
Fox 5 High Team reporter Johnny Edwards has kept up with Jonesboro since reporting on unfair speeding tickets. Johnny.
Well, do we know where this is going? Let's just venture to guess what race is this particular mayor. And it's a female accusing the council of racism when they fuck up and not doing things. Now, I'm not saying this lady is guilty of anything. Not saying that at all. But you are a mayor. You're not a queen or a king. How do I want to put this? I'll put it like this. In life, period, no matter where you're at in the world, you can do whatever you want to do. Anything you want to do. But to have a civilized society, there are rules, there is structure, and it's not based on how you feel. It's based on what works best for a very diverse group of people. You can do whatever you want to do. You can go out here and shoot and delete somebody. Yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. But the rules and the structure would say you have to pay the consequences for that. That's what living in a civilized society would be.
He is here now, and we understand there's footage of that city council blowout, which kind of paints the picture of what's been going on there.
Well, Russ and Courtney, on the surface, it was a fight over who runs meetings. But the real issue is who runs the city. It started with talk of reforming the ethics committee, something council members want to check the powers of the mayor. In the video, council members accuse the mayor of bullying. She calls them racist and cowards.
It's very inappropriate. Mayor. Go ahead, it's very inappropriate for you to do what you do.
On the night before last week's presidential election, this happened in Jonesboro.
So you can learn to quit bullying, council. I'm not bullying. Y'all can stop being so racist. Maybe I would have to. You're right, here we go. Let's expose what you all said behind closed doors. Little cowards.
A verbal melee and a near meltdown in a public meeting.
You know what? Look, I have not tied y'all hands. I have executed what the charter says I'm entitled to, and that pisses you all off.
Can I do a better job at remaining calm during council meeting? I'm a work in progress in that.
So what's behind all this? Over a year of infighting between Mayor...
Oh, so just nice and calm, you know. Can I do a better job? I'm a work in Congress. Did I just say a work in Congress? Lord, I did just say that. What the fuck is wrong with me? She said I'm a work in progress. And just so nice and just calm but banging your gavel and your voice inflection gets to, it was not at a 10, it was at an 8. And you just kept doing it again. Like a freaking petulant little child who is not getting their way. That's what I just saw with this lady.
Danya Sarter and the majority of council.
I think it is one person wanting things one way and pushing, and then other people wanting things their way. So I think it's more of a power struggle than anything.
I'm just simply exercising the powers that the charter bestows upon me by virtue of me holding this position, and I think some council members are struggling with that.
To review, in September 2023, the council voted to hire an outside attorney to investigate allegations against the mayor. The final report accused her of, among other things, pointing a gun at a police lieutenant in her office. Mayor Sarter still won re-election. A GBI probe found no evidence of criminal wrongdoing, and the Clayton County DA declined to prosecute. Is it true that you pointed a gun at a lieutenant?
No, it's not true, and the GBI felt that it was not true as well.
The mayor would fire the police chief and 2 other officers involved in that investigation. Now,
So from what I know, she did not point the firearm at the police chief. From what I've seen, her and the police chief were in the office having a discussion. And she just so happened to move the firearm. We don't know if it was loaded or anything else like that. She moved the firearm from one place, made it visible, and moved it to another place. We don't know if it could have been, let me see. So, this is the firearm in question. This is the barrel of the firearm. So, right. So, she could have taken the firearm out of the drawer, did like this, and put it in the other drawer. Does that seem plausible? Or just period? Just, again, this is the barrel. She could have just went, oh, okay, yeah. And then you were talking about what? Slide it out and then just. Can you see something wrong with that? I do.
Now, council members accuse her of ruling by fear, causing the city to lose its directors of public works, finance, IT, and the city clerk.
She yelled, she screamed, she cusses at employees, and all this stuff, and we can't stop it.
You're right, because the charter does not allow you all to stop it.
Weaponized our
I have not weaponized any, because if sue me for anything that I've done that's not applicable to me. That's what y'all are pissed about.
I can tell you, though, and the record would show, a number of our employees have left because they went for better paying jobs.
Some council members even went to Clayton County's legislative delegation recently, asking to change the city charter so day-to-day operations would be run by the city manager, not the mayor. The request went nowhere.
And this strong mayor system had been in place for I don't know how many years. Now, I get in this position as an African-American woman, and all of a sudden you're trying to change my particular powers.
Which brings us to last week, and
As a African American woman, just because you're an African American woman, they want to change it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Just because you're an African American woman, not because you went. All these things are alleged, but I've seen this story over and over and over and over again. I've seen this story. It's the same story that I've seen. What is wrong with these black women that get into these positions of power? Letitia James, Fonnie Willis, Tiffany Henyard, Karen Bass, Latoya Cantrell. These are the names that are come on the top of my head. Keisha Lance Bottoms. Let me picture the map in my head real quick. Michelle Wu. Sheng Tao. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? And this is not to say that men in power, minority men in power, because I named some women that were not black women, 2 of them, but the majority of them were just ones I can come off the top of my head that were black women who are involved in some type of impropriety one way or the other. Not saying they guilty or innocent or anything, but the fact that you're involved in these type of things says something. And the fact that you're all part of the same group, you're all Democrats, you pretty much have all the same story, you're pretty much accused of doing all the same things. Does that speak to a systemic problem? Because I'm just gonna throw a wild out idea out here right now. Just a wild idea. If you were doing what was right and you made a mistake, is it safe to say that that might be swept under the rug in the public? Nobody will pretty much ever know about it. No one would ever know about it. But I do know, as a politician, you always while you're running for office and while you're in office, you do have opponents that will do certain things because they may want to run the next time. I mean, I get that. It's pressure, it's competition, it's fierce competition, it's this, that, and the other. But I would always venture to say, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just not this way in politics. But I'm thinking about in life in general. If you're doing what you know what's right, in the end, whatever the end may be, it'll pretty much take care of itself. Because someone can allege that you did anything. But if you didn't do those things, you can stand 10 toes down and you can be rest assured that, okay, well, you know what? When you're in a position of leadership, and especially when you're trying to change things, you're gonna get all type of pushback. Henceforth, the great example of what we got going on, Donald Trump. He trying to change the way that this government operates totally. And the people that has been doing all these things, no. They don't like that. That ain't gonna happen. No, they ain't gonna happen. So, on a smaller scale, when you're in a position of leadership and you want to come in here and you want to do things different and your intention is to make them better, you're gonna get all type of pushback. I mean, and that's just the way it is. But when you throw a woman into the mix, women live by emotions, so her emotions take over, which, as we seen in this particular example in this video, you get the yelling, voice inflection goes up, you're hitting your gavel and doing all this type of stuff, and then you totally miss the subject of what they're talking about, and then you're accusing them of racism. Then that's a whole nother thing.
the council's push for an ethics committee. The 3-member panel, 2 appointed by council and 1 appointed by the mayor, could investigate complaints against employees, board members, and elected officials, taking findings to the mayor and council, which could reprimand, censure, withhold pay, request resignation, or seek removal from office.
I think it would be a very good tool to keep us all in check, to make sure we're all moving in the right direction for the right reason.
The ruckus began with talk about selecting appointees and the mayor admonishing Messick to only speak when called on.
And Mayor Pro Tem, for the record, if you speak again when I have not acknowledged you, you will not speak for the rest of this session.
Mayor,
Nope.
The Mayor Pro Tem walking out.
Just let her leave. Just let her leave. You don't have to.
Now, the city council meeting Monday was far more amicable. When a councilwoman accused her peers of selecting ethics committee members in secret, they postponed the vote until they could all reach a consensus. I'm told the ethics committee, if formed, could only investigate complaints about acts going forward. It could not go back in time and look into any prior allegations. Russ, Courtney?
Well, it seems fair to say that that kind of public behavior seems unusual at a city council between the council and the mayor.
He said, that type of public behavior seems unusual. Oh my gosh, he's being so nice. He can't say it like I said. The behavior is unacceptable. She's the mayor. She's at work. This is a professional environment. You don't yell at people. Although in a position of leadership, you might want to. I've been in a position of leadership in every aspect of my life, in any position or organization I've been a part of. I was in a position of leadership at some point. You don't yell at people. You don't treat everybody the same, because you get different results from different people. You get to know these people a little bit, not personally. You get to know them as it relates to the aspect of whatever interaction y'all have to have at this job, or for instance, when I was in the military or anything like that. You don't treat everybody the same. You just don't, because it doesn't work. You meet these people where they're at, but when you just start flying off the hinges and just start yelling at folks, well, at that point, I don't even know what you're talking about. I just don't even know. All I hear is that's all I hear. And I would venture to say that's the same thing for most people, as opposed to, what's going on? What's your issue? Let's go over here and talk. Tell me what's going on. And even if you don't have the answers, just simply, I understand what you're saying. I'm sorry for that right now. I really cannot give you an answer. But I will get back with you on Tuesday, and then we'll just see where we're at from there. You just don't go off yelling, and you got a gavel in your hand. If you're emotional, that's pretty much a weapon. And then you're banging this thing like this lady was doing, and shouting down people. There's never any good that comes out of that type of behavior. And then on top of that, you accuse these people of racism, right? I do believe in passive aggressiveness, but unless somebody just comes out and just exhibits racism overtly, then for the most part it's really not racism. You can conjure up anything in your head that you want, unless they come out and overtly do, because times are different right now. In 1962, they could have came out and said, N-word, you're not welcome here, You can't work here. Don't even step foot in. No, you just can't do those type of things today. Now, covertly and behind the shadows and all these type of things, that might happen, but can you prove it? The saying was, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. In 2025, it's not what you think you know, is what you can prove. Just throw these words out, racism and all this type of stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all, race baiters, it just does not have it just does not hit like it used to. Y'all done saturated it up to a point to where people like me, immediately when he throw out this racism card and this, that, and the other, I'm automatically like, yeah, okay. And it's not your behavior. It's not the fact that you're screaming at these people. You're a leader. If nobody else holds frame, is the leader. No matter the fucking sky and the ship can be sinking and the sky can be falling down. You know what the leader has to say? The leader has to say this and like this. I understand that this ship is sinking, but you know what? There's boats over there. Go over there. Hurry up. The leader cannot be, the fucking ship is sinking. What are we gonna do? No, the leader cannot do that. And the mayor is supposed to exhibit behaviors of being a leader. And when you're losing your frame and you're screaming and you had this little wooden thing that makes a lot of noise, which garners everybody's attention, and you're banging it incessantly, that's not good leadership.
Most cities have ethics committees, or is this something that's targeted particularly at her, do you think?
No, most city and county governments that I've covered do have them. In fact, Jonesboro used to have one, I'm told, but it sort of faded away because it didn't have enough work to do. Interestingly, Mayor Sarter says she's in favor of having an ethics committee. She just doesn't want it to be a vehicle for putting a magnifying glass on her.
Well, clearly.
Oh, she didn't want no magnifying glass on her, and why would that be? You didn't want an ethics committee. Does that mean you were doing something that was not ethical? And that's just a question I'm asking. If you're on Facebook, like this video, share this video, comment on this video. Go over to YouTube, go to Mr. Info 5000. Peace.